Hey buds, ArborAndy here. We got a camera, obviously, we got a computer, we got a mic, we got a setup. So give this video a huge like and subscribe to the Arbor League. Very nice setup, or Sudowoodo here won't be very happy. We gotta help our friend Sudowoodo out, like and subscribe. I know in Gold and Silver that he was awakened by water, but not anymore. He's awakened by like and subscribe. So give Sudowoodo here, like and subscribe, keep him alive, and let's see what we're doing today. We're going to be doing rank 1 Serpior. That's right, back on Community Day when we got Frenzy Plant and Serpior, and it was Snivy Community Day, I got a ranked 1 Serpior, and I've liked him ever since. So just Aerial Ace is kind of a poor move, but it does give a little bit of coverage. It's not as good as Venusaur with Sludge Bomb, but he is pretty tanky, and he does survive some pretty good battles here. So we're going to be taking a look at this rank 1 team that I've built with other rank 1s we've acquired. Next screen, we've got acquired a rank 1 Marowak back when he was getting Shadowbone in the raids, and just recently we've caught a rank 1 Snorunt that we evolved into Glalie here. So the team, we've got Awak in the lead with Hex, Shadowbone, Fire Blast, no Bone Club. We're going to be going straight nukes in this one. And we've got Glalie, rank 1 again, with 0-13 with Ice Shard, Avalanche, Shadow Ball, standard moveset, and Frenzy Plant Serpior in the back with Vine Whip, Frenzy Plant, and Aerial Ace. And I got 2 sets to show you. Did pretty well. I got 4-1, I believe it was a 4-1 on this one. I could have won it, and we'll go over that in a bit. And a 3-2 to show you. So we're going to go into some of these battles here. Whoops. Still kind of new to this setup here, so we're going to try to deal with what we have here. Go into this 4-1 here. This is for the Holiday Cup too, so max CP 1500, which is alright. So this team, weak to fire in the back, so if we have a fire lead, we have to stay with our fire as well. Awak. So our first against Chandelure here. Okay, so this is definitely positive for us if he has Incinerate, which he does, because if he had Hex, then it would be negative for us. So we're going to get to our Shadow Bone before he gets to his Shadow Ball. He's at 3. There's no point in going for a Flame Charge here because Shadow Ball would be taking us out. And Flame Charge is resisted also by our fire, so he has the shield. And as you can see here, I just want to stop this video here right for a second here, because this really, I mean, it's not that big of a deal here, but as you saw that, Hex is a 3-turn fast move, and Incinerate is a 5-turn fast move. So I'm just going to rewind it back just a bit here. Yeah, this is right where he shields, and you'll notice he gets 2 Incinerates to my 2 Hexes. So if 6 turns to 10 turns, 1 Incinerate, 2 Incinerate, and I've only had 2 Hexes, and he gets to throw. Niantic, fix your game! So we're going to have to be shielding another Shadow Ball here, and I think I can just Hex this thing all the way down, because he's going to be taken super effective, and these Hexes are really adding up. So we're going to have to use our second shield here, because this will be another Shadow Ball. There's no reason for going for Flame Charge. And have to see what he has in the back. Or what's up next. What's coming up next? It's going to be an Obstagoon. And we're just going to go straight for the Fire Blast. Because Glalie doesn't want to see this, and we're down shield. Serpior's tanky, but we're going to... And he lets it go! Oh my goodness! That's why I keep Marowak with Fire Blast. And we get to Ice Shard this thing almost all the way down. But he's just going to be able to get to a cross chop here. It is super effective. It's not going to take us out. And we snuck in an Ice Shard, I believe. So that Obstagoon is going to go down to 1 more. So it's time to see what's in the back. And it's going to be a Graveler. And Avalanche does neutral here. It does not... Rock is not resisted by it. It does neutral. So he is going to have to shield. And... I'm stuck in this, but I'm totally okay with that because I know that Serpior can tank he can tank 1 Stone Edge. So he beats us to CMP here, which is unfortunate, so we're going to have to see what happens. Rock Blast, so I think he was another 1 or 2 Volt Switches away from a Stone Edge. So I come in with Serpior here, trying to get to the Frenzy Plant. He's over farming just a bit, maybe over tapped. But this is the Stone Edge coming through because he knows he's going to have to use 2 to take us out. 1 for the Marowak, 1 for the Serpior. But rank 1 Serpior hangs on, and we get to our Frenzy Plant, and that's going to be taking the game. So good game to my opponent there, and I think it was good double shielding there against the Chandelure. So Frenzy Plant taking that out for super effective damage, and we take the win. On to our next match. These were done a few days ago, not terribly recently. But we got Marowak into Jealous, very negative, but we have to see if he has Hex as well. Or a Bubble. I mean, we get to our Shadow Bone before he gets to his Shadow Ball. And these Bubble Beams aren't going to be doing very much, so it is a Hex. And we are going to get to the Shadow Bone, but Jellicent wins CMP over us. So this is just going to be... I'm letting this go, actually, because I'm calling the Bubble Beam. He's got Hex, so I imagine he's got Bubble Beam, Ice Beam. So we're going to let that go, try to overfarm just a bit, and throw the Shadow Bone. This is going to be getting a shield. We're only 2 times debuffed from the Bubble Beam, but the Shadow Bone is still going to be doing a ton of damage. So we do get the shield with that, which is good, because we haven't used a shield yet, and he gets to another Bubble Beam. That was only 2 hexes. So I'm going to let this go. Oh, I shield just in case it was a Shadow Ball, but he Bubble Beams me again, so I think he's running Ice Beam. So we're going to go ahead and build a Shadow Bone here, because this is going to be taking quite a bit of health. I mean, we're debuffed 4 times now, but he's still shooting. That's perfect, because now we can come in. I come aggressively with the Glalie because he didn't think he was going to switch out, banking on that we can get to our Shadow Ball. So I think this is where he reveals that he has Shadow Ball. Still not going to be taking enough damage from it. I mean, it's going to do a lot of damage, but Glalie can hold on. And we get to see what comes in. I hold off on throwing the Shadow Ball, and a Talonflame comes in. Shadow Ball would not be getting stabbed on Glalie because Glalie is just an Ice type, not an Ice Ghost. And Avalanche doing a ton of damage. I was banking on getting to 1 more, but I think we're going down to Incinerates here. This is perfectly fine because we're up a shield and we resist everything on Marowak in case he Brave Birds us. So that's going to be okay because we are going to be able to take him out with an Aerial Ace, so I'm banking on the fact that he's just Flame Charging right now. So I'm just going to stay in with Marowak here. Even if he does take us out with a Brave Bird, his attack and defense drops, so we can either Vine Whip him down or throw an Aerial Ace or Hex him down. So we're not able to get to that Shadow Bone. We get incinerated down. Totally okay with me. We are going to shield this up no matter what it is because he's already boosted. They got you coming in with the Pokeballs as we battle. So Serpior taking the Talonflame down. Talonflame counter confirmed. And there's an Abomasnow in the back. And this is, again, terrible for Aerial Ace because Serpior's tanky. We can tank 1 Weather Ball, but this is a loss for us because Aerial Ace does not near enough damage as we'd like it to. So, I mean, you know that. I know that. We're going over it because it's in the battles. So, Aerial Ace doing nothing. Getting 3 balls before we go down to another Weather Ball. So good game to my opponent. That was just team comp, but very well played. I don't know why he threw there. He could have just farmed down. Aerial Ace still wouldn't have done enough damage. But we can't win them all. We do go 4-1 here, so we know that it goes. Oh, it can only go up from here. So on to our next match here. Up against a Greedent. Okay, he can hit back for super effective with the crunches, but he doesn't get stabbed. So I'm going to safe swap into the Glalie here, and he's going to stay in, try to bank a bunch of body slams here. I let this first one go because our defense has not been dropped yet, but we can tank at least a couple body slams. Body slam is the better move to go for, and in this case we cannot go for Shadow because that would be resisted, double resisted by Greedent. So Avalanche still going to be doing a ton of damage, hopefully warranting a shield, and there we go. That was a plan there, so we can still tank a body slam or a crunch, but I'm going to shield just to preserve a little bit of health. I don't know why. I could have tanked 1 more because Greedent is just loaded on energy. When we came in, he got about 4 bullet seeds in, so he's going to be at least a charge move ahead of us and still winning CMP over us. So I wanted to shield at least 1 of these just to wait out the switch clock, preserve some health, preserve some time. And yeah, we can tank 1 more body slam as we get to our next Avalanche. This won't be taking out the Greedent, but it should warrant at least another shield. And they do. Perfect. So I'm okay with that. We can let this next one go through. He's not going to bullet seed us all the way down, but I try to catch a body slam. on the Marowak. I don't know if he's going crunch, but did we call it correctly? Calling the body slam bait, catching a double resistant move on the AWAC, and he knew, and there's an Altaria on the back. Now this is not too bad because we've got one shield. Shadow Bone's not going to be... We're going to need 2 and maybe a few hexes or 1 more to take out the Altaria. He's down shields. We just have to wait for a sack here because... and I figure that Marowak's my only chance here. We can take 1 Sky Attack, letting it go. I thought I was going to shield that. What's my plan here? Come in. I've got 1 more Shadow Bone. I knew I wasn't going down to a Sky Attack. It would have been getting me pretty low. I was risking getting Dragon Breath down. Getting to our next Shadow Bone here, and this will be doing a chunk of damage with Altaria. That was, I think I realized that, and I let Marowak go down because we can come in and Ice Shard down with Glalie. He's not quite at a Sky Attack, and we'll be taking him out before he gets to it. So, good job on Glalie there, farming all the way down. The only problem is the Greedent, but we get to an Avalanche, and this should be taking out the Greedent, and we should be calling it a game. Even if it doesn't, we can come in with Serpior, tank a bunch of body slams, and this should be a good game. Not quite taking out the Greedent. Sniping with the Serpior, and what does he have in the back? He's got an Alolan Golem, and it's a rock throw Alolan Golem, and we just win by team comp again. This is super effective Frenzy Plant coming through. Frenzy Plant is Frenzy Plant is Frenzy Plant, so goodbye Golem, and good game to that trainer. On to the next one. Jornik 11. Was this? Okay, Stunfisk. Terrible lead. I mean, we've got Hex, but these Mud Bombs are going to be doing super effective, so I'm going to switch into Glalie. We've got 2 responses for Stunfisk in the back, so safe swap into Glalie, and out comes a Marowak. Now, this is pretty rough for us, but he is running Hex and not Fire Spin, so it's a little bit more positive for us. This is Bone Club or a Shadow Ball. We can tank 1, and we're going to get to our Shadow Ball. Now, does Marowak remember that Glalie does carry Shadow Ball as a coverage move, so let's see if he shields us or not. Shadow Ball coming through and doing a ton of damage to Marowak. So in the 1 shield, you could actually farm down the Marowak with Glalie, with Ice Shards, with the resisted Ice Shards. So Glalie, rank 1 Glalie, Marowak counter, AWAC counter confirmed in the 1 shield. With Hex, That's not with Fire Spin, that's with Hex. So good job Glalie. We've got an Avalanche ready to go for an Electro to come back in. And again, I think this is a good game because, again, based on team comp, we've got Serpior in the back. Electrode can hit back for neutral foul plays, but again, Serpior is pretty tanky, so almost getting that the Avalanche and getting farmed down. So he's got a ton of energy here. So that was, I counted 4 or 5 volt switches there. So he's at least at 2 discharges, 2 foul plays. He throws 2 more and throws. So this is going to be a foul play. It's not stab. We are going to have to shield one of them, but we can let the first one go because we are pretty tanky on Marowak, but he throws a discharge. Now, I should have picked up on this, but right here, this is good game because he switched into his ground type against our grass type. Even with the electric type, he resists everything, even muddy water. Ufisk doesn't have any coverage in return for grasses, so we can just Frenzy Plant him here. And I mean, I could have farmed up to 2, and I think that probably was the play because you're going to see what happens in a second here. Discharge coming through, not doing that much damage even to grass. So we Vine Whip down, and we've got the Electrode coming back in, throwing 2 more Volt Switches, not able to get to the Frenzy Plant. They beat us to CMP at something. So, my man, I'm going to let this go. And it's a Hyper Beam! Taking out the Serpior. Electrode is a Serpior counter confirmed. Coming in with Marowak, but now they're dry of energy, and the Shadow Bone will be taking them out if they don't decide to shield. Shields are down, but they knew that, so good game. I let that Hyper Beam. There was a bit of me, I knew it was going to be a Hyper Beam, but I wanted to let it go just because. So, Spice on that, man. No respect for landing that Hyper Beam. I let you do it, but good job. Good game. Into our next match. Again, negative lead because Rock takes deals out super effective to our fire, but they come in with an Altaria, and this is just hard counter city. We've got a Glalie. We can take 1 Sky Attack. We're not going to get Dragon Breath down, but we can survive. Because Glalie is kind of tanky. He's got some bulk to him, and he is a rank 1, so I wanted to let some of these moves go just to see how much we could do, farming up just a bit, not allowing him to get to another Sky Attack, because we would have had to use a shield, so we're going to be forced to throw, because I doubt that they shield that. So we win mid-game, and the Graveler comes back in, and we have an Avalanche ready to go, so this is going to be warranting a shield. Because like I said earlier, Rock does not resist ice. It still does a ton of neutral damage, so they'll have to use a shield. This is good. We can just let Glalie go down now. The Graveler is going to get a bunch of farm, which is not ideal. But we've got AWAC in the back and 2 shields, and we've lined up Serpior with them. So we can, as you saw earlier, we can tank 1 Stone Edge. But this is, again, a hard counter city, so I believe let this first one go through, and it is going to be the Stone Edge. But he baits with Rock Blast. Okay, that's not too bad. We're going to get to our Frenzy Plant here. I shield this one. Okay, right, yeah, because I knew it would do about 2/3, or about half of Serpior's damage. Can't talk. 1/3 of Serpior's health. But we're down on health too, so I had to shield that one. I'm going to go for the Frenzy Plant here, and this will be taking out the Alolan Graveler. Comes back in with an Obstagoon, and I switch into my AWAC. There's 1 shield left. He's going to have to shield this, right? He's going to know this. This is definitely a Fire Blast. Come on, dude. This is just a Shadow Bone. This is... I'm throwing a Bone Club. He lets it go. Oh my goodness. AWAC is a Goon counter confirmed. When you run Fire Blast, they don't expect it. And we can just let all of these go through and maybe even farm down with Serpior. Serpior is going to be closing because the Spoon isn't going to get the Goose. Goosted Boon. We're not going to see a Goosted Boon today or a Boosted Goon. Either way, we're going to be Vine Whipping all the way down. And all we have to do is shield because this game's over, but the opponent wanted to play it out, so good game. I'm not even going to throw. Vine Whipping him down. Good. So I believe that was the last one. The 5 battles. Yes, that was the 4-1. Getting that 4-1 there. Very nice. There we go. We got our 3-2. Okay. On to the next set. See, it's kind of awkward. I mean, I think I encounter a few more fire leads in this because people started using some Talonflames. So you kind of got to stay in that because if they have fire, if you switch out, they probably have a water or another counter in the back. So you kind of have to stay in that one and bank on Serpior and Glacial Boy. So we've got Glalie, how do you say it? Let me know in the comments how you say the name, how it should be pronounced, Glalie. I'm calling him Glacial Boy. And we've got some lag going on. So we've got a Shadow Bone coming through. We're going to be hucking Shadow Bones at each other. That's basically the play here. But also, like I was saying, with our fire leads, we got to stay in this. But it's also more positive for us because the AWAC is also running Fire Spin. Bone Club is also not a great move. So he realized that, and he's going to swap out to his Sableye. Now we're going to go ahead and throw the Shadow Bone because it still will do neutral damage. Ghost doing super effective to Ghost, but Dark resist. So they will have to shield this, or let it go. That's okay with me because they've got 1 shield. Okay, that was my bad. So we're going to come in with Glalie here, and I know we can take 1 foul play, but I'm going to shield 1 of these because I felt like he farmed a little bit there, so I didn't want to be taken out by a return even. So we're going to have to shield 1 of them because he's going to have to get to another one if he wants to maintain switch. So I just go for the aggressive farm down here. Banking on this being a foul play. If it is, so be it. If not, I come in with AWAC and farm down, but it's just a foul play. We survived that and farm down. So Glalie winning a lot of these mid games here. I'm really liking Glalie as a safe swap, and he does have a bit of bulk. I mean, all these Pokemon do have a bit of bulk. You know it, and I know it, that AWAC does, and Serpior does. Just not the coverage move that you'd want. Aerial Ace, I mean, Sludge Bomb, anything else is a better coverage move. But anyways, Glalie coming back, also forcing shields if not taking the AWAC out. So again, Glalie, great safe swap. Only getting to the avalanche here, but we'll see if the opponent decides to shield, if they lost count. They were counting correctly, so that's unfortunate for us. And they throw, so that's even better for us because they could have farmed us down, but they're going to be forced to throw because I think that was a CMP tie. So I think that was the correct play, is throwing on the CMP tie, forcing them to throw, and we can come back in here with a shield and energy advantage on the AWAC, getting to the Shadow Bone. I threw because I didn't want him throwing, but he threw anyway, so I guess their AWAC wins CMP over us. That Bone Clamp wouldn't have been taking us out, but we would have gone down to another fast move or so. So I decided to undercharge us. It's still going to take him out, but we're still looking good here. Because our AWAC has beaten their AWAC. We've also won the mid game, and there's a Vigoroth in the back. So they didn't use their Vigoroth as a safe swap, but we're going to come in here and just Frenzy Plant this, because Frenzy Plant OP, Frenzy Plant Pog. It's, as you can see, Vigoroth, not the tankiest around. Frenzy Plant almost taking him out. These body slams are also, they're going to be starting to spam out, but we can tank a couple at least because Serpior is tanky. But he decides to bulldoze for some reason, so man, if that was a single move Vigoroth, double move that Vigoroth. Double move that Vigoroth. I mean, you need body slam, and I think if you single move run a Vigoroth, then you'd want body slam because it does get stab on it. So if you're the opponent, go for the body slams there. Up against another negative lead and another A-grab. So I'm going to save swap into Glalie here, Glacial Boy, and see if he decides to swap out, but he doesn't. Lets us throw, and maybe we beat him to CMP there, not too sure. But we're going to go ahead and throw the Avalanche and warranting a shield, because he's probably at his Stone Edge, so he's going to want to preserve Graveler as well. Still not throwing, so maybe doing back-to-back Stone Edge here. I don't think you can store two. You might need one Volt Switch to store another, so he goes for the Rock Blast bait. That way he can throw one more Stone Edge, one more Volt Switch and be at the Stone Edge. So he baits, so that was a good move by the opponent. Now I have to shield this one because we're super effective no matter what it is, right? So I'm trying to maintain switch here. Now I'm going to throw the Avalanche, see if he wants to shield again. He's one more Volt Switch away from another Rock Blast, which might not take us out, but maybe with the Volt Switch damage it will. So he does keep the Graveler alive, and he will farm up just a little bit and throw just before we get to our move, so good timing by the opponent. Otherwise we would have thrown the Avalanche and taken him out, and that sure would have been worth us. So good job on the opponent. And he Stone Edges us for some reason, so now he's Drive Energy, and I'm just going to come in here with Serpior and farm down. So it's up to the last two Pokemon in the back. What does he have? And it's a Trevenant, so we can hit back for super effective with the Aerial Ace. But it's not going to be doing that much damage, so I'm going to have to bank on switching back into the AWAC and try to finish him off with a Shadow Bone. Because one Shadow Ball is not that going to take out Serpior, but it is going to do a ton of neutral damage, and then he comes back in with the Vigoroth, so this is even better for us. He could hit for Bulldoze on the AWAC here, and I can't, and I've got Hex, so I can't switch out of this one. We're going to have to probably catch a Seed Bomb or bank on him baiting at some point in time, because I can't Hex down a Vigoroth. I have to stand this and throw Frenzy Plants. Or at least Vine Whip him down, maybe catch a resisted Body Slam. And he doesn't throw, so this could be the Bulldoze. This is looking really rough for us, because I can't Hex this down, so I have to farm up to 100 energy. So this is looking like a loss for me. But he Body Slams with shields down. So this is actually not looking too bad, because, I mean, 5 minutes ago I was saying, you know, single move your Vigoroth with Body Slam, and then you run into an AWAC, and now you wish your single move Vigoroth with Bulldoze was up against me instead. So, anyways, gonna be going for this Shadow Bone here. My only option, but I have to get rid of this Vigoroth. Save the Shadow Bone for the Trevenant in the back, but he wins DMP tie, and this is over, because this is Shadow Ball. This is going to be taking us out, and my only hope is to get to another Aerial Ace with Serpior, and we survive on 1 HP and we get to that Aerial Ace. The question is does this Aerial Ace KO? So we'll have to see, and it does. So Serpior, strong, with 1 HP and a Dream, able to close. So up against our next match. A little bit of lag here. AWAC up against Shiftry. Okay, neutral kind of match depending if he has Razor Leaf, Snarl, because the Dark does super effective to our AWAC, but he comes back in with his AWAC, and we have to stay in. So now that we're ahead on energy because he switched out, we can throw our Shadow Bones and hopefully beat him to the charge move every time, because these Shadow Bones are going to be doing a ton of super effective damage. But I catch the Shadow Bone on the Serpior, and I'm thinking, because he doesn't have Fire Spin, so he's going to be running Hex, Shadow Bone, Bone Club. Okay, so maybe my play here is just to come in with the Aerial Ace and maybe shield once the Serpior here, because the Shadow Bone will be taking us out, if not surviving very okay. Letting it go through, doing Aerial Ace, and our defense drop. So I think that's good because our defense has dropped twice now, so he's not going to get as much farm. He might only get 1 or 2 hexes off. So 1, 2, yeah, okay. So now I think my play here was to double shield the AWAC now, and I can hex all the way down or gain a ton of energy and see what he has in the back here. Gets to a move. I don't think there's any point in baiting for the opponent here because I've got 2 shields that I can just double shield. But a Whimsicott comes back in, and this is looking positive because we can Ice Shard this all the way down. It's going to take Whimsicott a while to get to the charge move, but I think I throw here just in case. Well, he gets to a move anyway, so now we're going to have to use our final shield. And these charms are adding up. But I think we can survive just long enough to farm down. I may throw once just to... Okay, so no, we do Ice Shard down, come out with 100 energy, and I blind through the Shadow Ball. I don't know why. This cost me the game right here, obviously, because he came in with the Shiftry. I was totally expecting him to come in with the AWAC, so that's why I threw the Shadow Ball, and I think that's what he thought I thought. So I panicked through the Shadow Ball and through my lose condition because this Avalanche would be taking him out, but now I'm dry on energy and my AWAC is also behind on energy while this AWAC gains energy. I have my Shadow Bone, but he has his, and I don't believe I may survive. If this is Shadow Bone, I survive. If it's Shadow Ball, I don't. Oh, Shadow Bone? Okay, I was low enough on health where it did KO. Okay, so good game to my opponent there. Reading that I would throw, maybe he knew the moveset of Glalie, so good game to my opponent there. On to the next one. Marowak up against Lapras. Do you see what's going to happen? Oh, whenever it's a Lapras, I know he's going to throw... he's going to be chunking his Surfs here, and I've got a response to Serpior in the back, but if I switch out, then so does he. So then this is sort of like a soft counter, so again, I sort of have to stay in this. I do have to tank a Surf. It is going to be a lot, but he's going to bank on me staying in, and I think he lost track of my energy because I always go for Fire Blast here. Shield once after the second Surf, but he lets it go, and that's why I run Fire Blast. Marowak running the Spice, because now we can just shield and farm down. And the Ice Shards are resisted. We just have to worry about him getting to another Surf, but we're going to be doing enough Hex damage to take him out here. I'm trying to catch a Surf, but I end up sniping him with Serpior. Comes back in with a Talonflame, and this is terrible, obviously, because, like I said, you have to, with your Fire Lead, and my AWAC is sort of down on health here, but he shields an Aerial Ace for some reason, so this is looking even better for us. And he throws. I mean, he could have farmed us down, but that's okay. That's okay with me with him throwing, so I can come back in with Marowak, and I think I'm close to a Shadow Bone here, so I can get one more shield, and I haven't reviewed my Glalie. So I do anyways. What was my plan here? Okay, I think, yeah, I was going to catch an AWAC, or just letting it go. That was a boosted, okay. That was 2 times boosted Flame Charge, not quite taking out a Glalie, so... I mean, maybe I should have shielded that, maybe not. He has one more shield, and this is a good game because he's got a Ufisk in the back that we could have lined up with the Serpior, but good game. On to the next one. A little bit of lag here. AWAC Venusaur. We totally wall this thing. So I think, well, I don't know why he's staying in. Trying to decide what he comes in with. A Manectric comes back in. So we're going to be going here for the Shadow Bone because Manectric is literally paper. But he lets it go, able to tank 1, and I come in with a Serpior. And I was curious, I wanted to say, I'm like, hey, how much does a non-stab Flame Burst do? Right? So I'm going to let this go. But he overheats. So I get overheated. Another Spice Lord. I don't know if this is a win anymore. We'll see what he has in the back. So that's in this video. We've got Hyper Beamed and we've got overheated by a Manectric. So we're getting spiced on as well. No harm, no foul. All the respect to everyone running Spice. Gonna go ahead and throw a Shadow Bone here. Not doing that much damage, and we've still got 2 shields though, and we did get the defense drop, so this is still looking okay for us. And we've got 2 shields, so depending on what he has in the back, we may be able to win this. He also has 2 shields, which is also pretty rough, because I'm also going to have to shield his next Surf, and these Shadow Bones are not really adding up, and he's got 2 shields. So yeah, he's may have to catch on Glalie here and throw a Shadow Ball. I think that's what I was thinking. Trying to catch a Surf or maybe a Skull Bash or something. Either way, going for the Shadow Ball. I'm not quite getting to it, and I believe this is only going to be a Surf. He's just going to be spamming these Surfs out because these Ice Beams wouldn't be doing much, and no idea why he's not throwing the Shadow Ball. And he comes back in with the Venusaur, so the opponent has thrown their lose condition back at us, causing us to have our win condition. Getting another shield with this Avalanche, and we still have a shield, so we can A, farm this thing all the way down and come out with a Shadow Ball, or B, just shield it up and throw an Avalanche. We'll see what the opponent says. I think we are able to farm all the way down, because these Ice Shards on a Great League Shadow Venusaur, yeah, I threw because that Frenzy Plant, if he got to a Frenzy Plant, it would be take us out, so I want to throw just before he gets to his move and maybe catch on the AWAC as a last resort, because we've just got the Lapras left. 2. Okay, so he is at a move, and this Surf is going to be taking this out, so I don't know if we're going to win here. He may have 2. Kind of lost count there, so like I said, Surf does a ton of damage. We're still okay. Now we're not okay. We're going down to lag here. We're going down to lag. Getting off a Shadow Bone. He finally caught up. We did get our energy, so that's good on us. Let's see if the Shadow Bone KOs though, and it does. So whew, sweaty game there, but getting the 3-2. It's not too bad, not too shabby. Getting a Bailey for our rewards. Not a legendary by any means, but not the worst thing for us either, because we got XL candy from that, because we like our Meganiums. We're going to be working on Meganiums soon, so that was the video. Like and subscribe if you like the content. Like and subscribe especially for our new camera, for our new computer, our new setup, and everything. Make sure to happy subscribe to the Arbor League, and I'll see you guys next time.